This is a comment talking about geofence warrants. So geofence warrants are something where police will basically say, like, anybody that was in this area, I want you to tell me who was here. So they have no idea who was there basically, and they want a list from a tech company like Google or Apple saying which ones, like which of their users had devices pinging in that area, and then whatever other associated account information they can provide. These are controversial because they are dragnet surveillance. You're basically just saying, like, okay, I'm going to pick this geographic area, and anybody whose device pinged within it, I want to know about. Typically, the law requires you to, like look for a specific person or have a warrant for a specific person's information. This is much more akin to the controversial Stingray data, where basically, like a Stingray device will capture a lot of different people's devices all at the same time, and then the data from all those devices goes through it. So this is unintentionally capturing information from completely innocent people and involving them in an investigation that they may not have any reason to be involved in. Dragnet surveillance. So again, a lot of people don't like this. That kind of surveillance is very controversial, but this person's opinion is techs have been using this since the dawn of time as a marketing tool, and now you are against it being used against criminals. Wow, how some people's priorities have gotten off track. And then someone else liked this. Come on, you guys. So like the reason why all of this data exists in the first place is because Google has been capturing it and Apple has been capturing it and using it to do marketing and other sorts of stuff. They are very hungry for data, and the fact that they maintain and retain the information about where people have been is, in and itself controversial. But having that involved in a law enforcement investigation and used as evidence is definitely something a step further. So obviously, like the point here, which I do think is valid, is that this information is already being hoovered up by these companies and then stored, sometimes indefinitely. So the fact that law enforcement is also getting a crack at it to solve crimes may not be the worst thing in the world, when further down the line, these companies are the reason this data exists in the first place because of their practices. Okay, not a bad point. Now that I say it out loud, that's a fair point. But I will say that turning tools that are designed for convenience into dragnet surveillance was probably never the intention of the people that created them. And making sure that people are not included in warrantless surveillance for no reason is definitely in the interest of privacy and just making sure we go after the right people. Like, investigating crimes is fine, but like involving a bunch of random people's data in those investigations without their permission is really the reason we have warrants. So dragnet surveillance often tests the limits of those warrants by capturing information about people who are not involved at all. And yeah, that's kind of the argument here, and definitely something that a lot of people have been maybe not super thrilled about seeing the expansion of that type of surveillance.